So young and naive of me to think she was from your past. Silly of me to dream of one day having your kiss. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. I can't believe.
Hi, Fierce Babes and Fierce Moms. Welcome back to another vlog. If you are new here, my name is Sasha. We talk all things wifehood, motherhood, and business. Girl, tell me why I almost didn't come here. I specifically planned for my daughter and I to run errands in this area specifically so that we could come to Cafe Kama. And something about my anxiety was like, no, bitch, you can't do that. And you want to know why? Off the simplest thing, the smallest thing ever. I looked up the location and it said I had to parallel park. And before I knew it, I was having a small mini panic attack over parallel parking, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. I know. However, we did make it. And I want to say this banana matcha from Cafe Kama is so good.
So young and naive of me to think she was from your past. Silly of me to dream of one day having your kiss. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. I can't believe it.
Do you ever have a friend where you can tell you did something to upset them, not intentionally, but you can, you're texting them and you're talking to them, and then all of a sudden their vibe changes. They're not texting you in the same way or responding in the same way. All of a sudden you can kind of feel that energy in air, and it's just they won't come out. You're like, okay, so what is it? What did I do? Now I got to figure out what it is that I did. I'm getting to a point where it's bitch, say what the problem is. Come to my table. I'm old enough to be able to be accountable for things that I do that don't land well, I didn't intend to do something that hurts someone's feelings. That does not mean that I cannot be accountable for how it makes someone feel. But baby, speak up. Speak up. Say what the problem is. Damn, how hard is that? Just say what the problem is. I promise you we can fix it. But the part where you just act weird and you just move different after that, and then I gotta be like, hey, well, and you may sit here and be like, well, you know what you did. Honey, I had to sit here and just I'm guessing, I'm assuming. This is the point where things kind of look different. I'm assuming. Why can't people just say how they feel about something and just say if there's a problem, say it. Let me know. And then we can move past it. For some reason, that shower kind of triggered me. Feeling like I want to go back, hide my tears in the water, and slide down the wall. I don't know why. I don't know what's coming up. We're not going to do it. Anyways, so that Saltaire body wash is actually a different one. I know y'all haven't seen me with that. You normally see me with the Sandal Bloom. But I'm out of the Sandal Bloom. I don't have any more left, so I decided to try a different scent, and this is their green grapefruit. First of all, I just love the Saltaire brand. I just love their packaging. I just love how they market. I just love it. So anyways, unlike the Santal Bloom, we're getting that warm vanilla kind of vibe. This is obviously fruity and things, and it's not what I normally get, but I'm in the mood to try different things. So I actually like it. The difference is I feel like with the Santal Bloom collection that each of the pairing things that go with it, or the collection, each of the pairing items in the collection, I feel like they have a different level of the fragrance. For the green grapefruit, I feel like they're all kind of equally stagnant. You get that fruity smell in the same kind of level from each one. So that's something to be mindful of. I also kind of feel like my skin feels a little bit tighter, but I'm not sure. I did also use the serum, and this is their hyaluronic acid body serum. It is supposed to give your skin an extra glow, and baby, we're looking for glow. We're looking for glow anytime we can get it. I mean, they didn't lie. And this product was actually sold out. It just came back in stock, so I decided to get my hands on it because the girls was buying it up. And what y'all buying it for? I have the body wash in the green grapefruit, and then I have the body lotion, which is my first time actually trying the body lotion in any of their products. For the Santal Bloom, I had the body cream and then the body oil. So this one has the body wash, the body lotion, and then I also got their deodorant serum. What do they call it? Their serum deodorant. Everything is very serum, very, we are looking out for your skin. It says it's supposed to help with discoloration under your arms, but baby, remember how I said we were gonna get laser? Okay, we're not doing that right now, okay? For multiple reasons. It's not necessary. It's honestly too expensive. It doesn't fit in the budget right now, so we're just gonna go ahead and leave that to the side. It was nice to have anyway. So I did Nair last night. Oh my gosh, I think I freaking burnt myself, bro. What this is, and it freaking stings. It stings so bad. So since this is a liquid deodorant, I'm not gonna put that on because I feel like it's just going to burn even more. So I'm just gonna wait for this to like heal. And then me and baby girl, we are about to head to brunch to continue to celebrate one of my homegirls' birthday because it's Libra season. Libras, honey, they take me through the ringer every year, okay? And I know they're listening, so baby, you took me through the ringer. Anyways, I do this thing where I get like half dressed. It's like 65 degrees outside, it says. So I think I'm just gonna put on like a little like long sleeve crop. I end up wearing kind of like the same combination with stuff over and over again. So I'm gonna put that on. I'm about to get my daughter dressed. She's currently watching Gracie's Corner. I really so badly wanted to be the mom that's like, oh my God, my baby, she doesn't watch TV. She only participates in ABC 1, 2, 3 flashcards. Oh, girl, if the baby is quiet, that's what we're gonna do. I can't even stress it enough. So anyways, we're getting ready to go there. Girl, tell me why we were coming up the steps and I tripped over my robe and I fell. I fell with my baby in my arms. I was like, new fear unlocked. Like, bro, what? And like, it's like one of those things where I'm like caught on to, if I react, she reacts. So I was like, and she was like, I'm like, okay, cool. I was thinking about if I wanted to do a little makeup, but I'm thinking nah. I actually went to a reception last night, a very beautiful reception for one of my girlfriends, and my makeup, like, you ever go out and then your makeup just refuses to come off? Like, that girl wants to sit next to you all day and night, and that's what happened with my makeup. So I'm just like, I'm gonna give my skin a break, because clearly that was quite somehow a heavy night. And of course, you know, we're using our Clean Skin Club. You already know this is what we use it for the face, honey. Make sure you use that. Tomorrow, I'm actually meeting up with one of my vendors that helps me out with all my personal customizations for my agency. I'm trying to do this thing where I am planning for next year and planning for events. I don't think I ever recapped, but for the event this year, did I recap? I don't feel like I did. But anyways, for Summer's Last Toast, that was in the last vlog, it was a great event. I feel like I always get super anxious. I may have mentioned about like, is anybody coming? Are they going to come? Yeah, they got a ticket, but what is going to make them actually come? And I had about a 70% turnout, and I'm just like, wow. But I can't lie, doubt settled in shortly after, because then I was like, okay, what is the purpose of this? I'm building community. I'm connecting like-minded individuals and unlike-minded individuals together in a room together, to see how we can be beneficial and help each other. Because I just feel like social media is, it's just so fraudulent and fake. And even TikTok is moving into like a fraudulent and fake thing. And by that, I just mean like, and I'm a part of the gag, okay? Like, and I don't mean that in any type of rude way. It's just like, it's not the full story. It's not the full picture. And so I feel like I don't see enough women helping women. Not saying that we aren't. I just don't feel like I see it enough. And I am like, my fierce babes and fierce moms, they need a space to come talk about, sure, the kids, the men, but let's also talk about business, especially in this economy. Like, baby, ownership, if that's something that you want to do, I think there's no better time than now, and who knows? So that truly is my purpose, and that's my purpose for having my YouTube channel as well. To create community, to have real and authentic conversations, to share things that I'm learning in life so that I can hopefully help you spark something in your mind about what you're doing in your life. And, you know, maybe you come in the comments and give me things that I can do with myself. But I don't know. But anyways, the event was really good. And I just want to be more strategic about how I put my events together. Sometimes I literally just wake up and I'm like, this is what I want to do. And then I go and execute. And while that's all cool and all, it's quite stressful. And I don't think that even with strategy that it'll remove the stress, but I do think that I can kind of mitigate certain bumps and hurdles that I come across. I actually, at the event last night that I was at, I saw my bartender for my wedding, and she now has a team of bartenders. She was just sitting off to the side, honey, and she was overseeing, and I was just like, her name is Ty. She actually is the bartender on Poor Minds, and I was just like, girl, you are just living and flourishing. I haven't seen her since the wedding, obviously, so in like 2 years. And I was just like, you were just flourishing. I'm just so proud of you. And I'm just so happy for you. And I just love this. And she was giving me some tips and tricks about hiring and things like that. I feel like sometimes, like in the past, when I've hired help or try to be more strategic about things, and I'm like, okay, I need some help, the help has sucked. But she was just like, you got to vet people. You've got to be willing to ask the hard questions, to quiz people about things. So am I making any sense? I think I'm just rambling. I'm just ranting at this point. But the event was good. What I learned is I need more strategy, more help, and to get my thoughts out on paper. Not that I can get so many different opinions, but so that I can get help in the right areas from the right people who truly have a passion for my vision as well and want to see it succeed. Not even me, just see the space succeed. So meeting up with my vendor tomorrow. We actually have never met in person before. Love meeting strangers. I am constantly meeting up with people. But anyways, so I am excited for that, and I literally can not wait. I don't know, bro. I'm just kind of like in a blah mood. Literally right now. Honestly, the first thing that I want when God blesses me with this abundance is a hair appointment every 2 weeks. I'm like in college, I used to be like, okay, and today is a hair day, and we're gonna do this. Baby, I don't have the patience for it. I don't like doing my hair. I don't like doing my hair when I have a wig. I don't like doing my hair when I have braids, because then after that, it's the edges, and then the edge clumps up, and all this shit, and it's just like, I'm over it. I don't like doing my hair. I like hair. I think hair looks cute. I'm big into it, all of those things. But the first thing is a hair appointment every 2 weeks and someone to make me some meal prep. Cause girl, baby, waking up trying to figure out what the fuck you're about to eat is the most aggiest damn shit as an adult. I literally cannot stand it. Gosh, I'm scared the baby. Never mind. Anyways, I can't stand it. So as soon as God blesses me with abundance, you will see meal prep, and you will see me have an appointment every 2 weeks. Amen.
Believe I fell for your schemes. I'm smarter than that. Don't be naive to believe that with me you're a changed man. Foolish of me to compete when you cheat. We lose when win. It took me some time, but now I'm
Cheers! Happy birthday!
Controlling, you say that you love me, but you don't. Your family told me one day I would see it on my own. Next thing I know, I'm dealing with your 3 kids in my home. Love is so blind, it feels right when it's wrong. Now that it's over, stop calling me. Come pick up your clothes. Ain't no need to front like you're still with me. All your homies know, even your very best friend.
Y'all,
God is so good. I feel like he is just making sure that I am connected with the right people for my business to really help things grow. I just met up, like I told y'all, with one of my vendors who does all the customizations for my events, my launch party and Summer's Last Toast. So this is our first time actually meeting up in person. We have sent 1,000 emails to each other, but never met. And I truly am finding the value behind meeting people in person that you're working with and taking time to get to know them, to get to know what's going on in their personal lives, you know, so you can just kind of be more well versed when you're like speaking to people and just aware. Anyways, girl, it was really good. She is super sweet, super nice. Been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years. She said shortly after COVID, and I love that for her. We did a little brainstorm session. We also talked about how my brand could help her brand, and she's already helped my brand in so many ways. Like, in order for me to put together my events the way I like putting them together, I need customization. I'm only going to do stuff in a certain way. Like, it has to be represented in a certain way. And she has absolutely helped me execute my vision. She also put together some custom items that I needed for when I did a collaboration here in Atlanta with Rose Bar. She did my pillows, she did the waters, all of those things. But anyways, I'm kind of getting a little bit nappish for some reason. Just a little bit nappish. Waze literally told me it would take me 50 minutes to get home. 50. Honey, I use Google Maps. 25. So somebody lying. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. And I literally swore that I love Waze up and down. I only love Waze for the publicidad, and not to sit here and jinx myself, but I have not had a ticket, so I don't even really need the police. I don't break the law. Anyways, now I don't know. I just feel like I'm just like so tired. I was literally sitting in the car talking to myself for 2 seconds, and baby, I just started to cry. But I was just like, God help me. Like, I'm losing it. I'm just mentally struggling. I don't know. I feel like I've just been a little bit overstimulated. Also, this time of the year, while it is so beautiful, there's just so many things going on. Y'all know October is a very, 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 very busy month for me. And then, of course, next month is Thanksgiving. And then the month after that is Christmas. And now it will be also, my daughter is turning 1. So it's just like so many things going on. There's constantly things swirling in my head. So we do the priority list to make sure that we knock things out and stay prioritized. But the stuff that's swirling around in my head all day, I've got to find somewhere to put those thoughts, a good portion of them, because they are, I think, running me ragged. I literally woke up out of my sleep this morning and was just like, not hyperventilating, but just kind of like heavy chested, all the signs of anxiety. Sometimes I feel like I have my anxiety and I'll be like, girl, you're not about to get me today. I don't care what is going on, you aren't about to get me today. But I don't know. I think also sometimes, even though I enjoy a good little libation, a good little drinky drink, I think also alcohol triggers my anxiety, bro. Like, the day after a night of too many drinks, like, my anxiety is triggered so bad. And you would think, like, okay, girl, so stop doing that. Ugh. The thing is, I don't like drink during the week or anything like that. But, you know, now at this point, every event you go to, like, we drinking, we taking shots. And I just got to be like, I'm not drinking. Like, I don't have an issue with drinking. I don't have a problem with alcohol. It's just like when I do have nights that I've had a little bit too much, like, girl, the recovery is kind of crazy. Won't even have a hangover. I just will be very high anxiety. And it's just such a huge drop to be like lit and having fun one night and then the next day high anxiety. Like, how fucking ghetto is that? So I'm kind of tired because of the fact that I woke up and kept just waking up out of my sleep. But it's a new day, it's a new light, and I'm feeling good. I also need to wash my hair. I need to take this thing off my head and I need to wash it. Oof. The devil is a liar.
Girl, lately my anxiety has been bigger than it needs to be, fixating off the smallest things and preventing me from doing things that I really want to do, creating the smallest world. And I've decided that I need to continue to push through. There was a point where my anxiety would stop me from doing big things. And for that, I would say, you know what? I probably shouldn't be doing those things anyway. No problem. I'll redirect. But for the small things, the going to the coffee shop, the going to the movies alone, the hanging out with a new friend, I'm not going to allow my anxiety to create a world that I don't want to exist in. Anxiety, right? My anxiety was like in a space. If you watch the St. Lucia vlog, and if you haven't, go watch it. But if you watch the St. Lucia vlog last year for my anniversary, you will know that I used to self-medicate for my anxiety, meaning I used to oversmoke. I used to smoke too often, pretty much every day, and was pretty much like a closet smoker. I would just kind of like, quote unquote, keep it to myself, like, you know, duck off and go and smoke and really not say too much about it. I realized that when we were in St. Lucia that it was an issue. It was an issue because, you know, I did have anxiety, and anxiety came up and I was unable to cope by myself. I was unable to kind of like, all right, let's center, let's figure out what it is, and let's figure out what's going on. I think I mentioned that I was also going to get on prescribed medication instead of doing the illegal things. And I did try out Lexapro for a little bit, but shortly after I got back from St. Lucia, I was pregnant. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I don't know. I think Lexapro is definitely approved if you are pregnant. You can still take it. So girl, if you're on Lexapro, go ahead and do it if you're pregnant. It's just personally a choice for me where I was like, I don't want to do that because I'm not sure. I feel like I wasn't on it long enough before I found out I was pregnant. I mean, maybe like less than 30 days for me to know how my body was going to respond to it, to then offer it to my child. So I stopped. But anyways, along that road, they call it nesting. But I found that baking also helps me just kind of calm down and focus into something else and slow down. So if you are struggling with anxiety, hopefully you can find an avenue where you can just put anxiety to the side for a second. I know that girl is strong. I know she will grab you by the neck and hold you until you can't breathe. And some days I still have that a bit. I will say that my anxiety isn't nearly as bad as it used to be. And I'm not sure if that's because I have like been super busy with other things, but you know, I still get super anxious. It's just not as crazy as it was. And I think it's also a mixture of the two. The smoking where, you know, you smoke before you eat, or you smoke before you do this, and you smoke before you do that, and therefore I was unable to do things like that. So maybe my anxiety, you know, still has those moments that are similar to what I've experienced before, but because I'm also not using a substance to cope with it, regular things aren't difficult, if that makes sense, like eating. And that was really a big thing, like because of the fact that I used to smoke before I eat. It was really a big thing. But anywho, speaking of anxiety and talking about that, girl, honey, when you got that matcha, my anxiety is now fixated over the smallest things. So I feel like people are all the time saying like, oh my God, Sasha, how you do this, how you do that, how you do this, how you do that. Baby, I do stuff scared all the time. I am fighting demons all the time. I'm just not going to let them keep me from obtaining my goals. So if I were to give any advice to my fierce babes, my fierce moms, my mompreneurs out there, do things scared. Do things regardless of how you feel, because those feelings are temporary moments and they will keep you in a world that's small. And how are you going to achieve any of your goals or dreams in a small world that's comfortable based off of where your anxiety tells you need to be? That girl will tell you you are fearful. So when I went and got matcha, I was with my daughter, obviously, and I looked up the place because I really wanted to go and get this banana matcha. Baby, or I look up the location and I'm like, I'm gonna have to parallel park. Now that I am in the burbs of Atlanta, I am not paralleling parking nearly as much. I've gotten a new car, even though I have a new car for a year. I got a new car and my anxiety was like, girl, you can't do it. The smallest things, like, girl, you can't do it. And even if you don't parallel park, you're gonna park far and you've got the baby, so don't even worry about it. And my daughter and I spent like the entire day in the same area that the cafe shop was, specifically so I could go and get this banana matcha. I said no. She almost talked me out of it. No. And by the way, that banana matcha was amazing. Anyways, super quick, I told y'all that I am going to do better about feeling just good about myself, you know, good about my new body and all those different things. So I did grab a little set from TikTok Shop. I got a large in this set. I'm not on TikTok Shop or anything like that, but anyways, I'm just saying it to say this is my first day trying out this little set, and it's comfortable, it's nice. I will say, you know, it's definitely Shein, where it's like thin material, you know, I can tell, you know, it's possible that the threads will separate, but so does Fashion Nova threads. So I think that it's cool, something to lounge around in the house with, and that's what I've been wanting to do. Because baby, I've been looking at these pieces of content that your girls have been producing, and sweetie, I have seen that big booty in them sweatpants, and yeah.